Over 60? This one move relieves sciatica pain faster than pills. That moment you wake up, it should be peaceful, a new day. But for you, there's often a different, unwelcome beginning. It starts as you shift in bed, a twinge in your lower back that whispers a warning. Then, as you carefully swing your legs to the floor, it happens, that sharp, electric shock. It shoots down your leg like a bolt, turning a simple movement into a gasped moment of stillness. You pause, waiting for it to subside, your hand gripping the mattress. The morning light doesn't promise energy. It just illuminates the careful, deliberate path you must now take. Your whole day is quietly rearranged around this pain. You calculate the distance to the bathroom. You consider if that chair in the kitchen will be a friend or an enemy. You might even postpone that walk you used to love, because the thought of that jolt with every step is just too much. This is more than an ache. It's a thief of simple joys, turning ordinary routines into cautious ordeals. And you've probably tried to find a way out. Perhaps you've reached for pills that leave your mind feeling foggy, or followed an exercise video that promised relief but left you hurting more the next day. It's exhausting, and that feeling of frustration that nothing truly works for long is deeply real. What if I told you the most effective path to relief isn't about doing more strenuous activity or battling through the pain? What if it was about doing one specific, gentle thing differently? Today, this isn't just another talk about managing symptoms. We're going to explore how to unlock your body's own innate ability to find calm. This isn't a complicated, exhausting routine. It's a precise, gentle approach that respected clinicians use, targeting the very root of the problem, the compression of that nerve. It offers a clarity and a sense of calm you might have thought was lost, and we can begin understanding it right now. To truly find a solution that lasts, we need to be crystal clear about what we're dealing with. Many people say sciatica when they mean general back pain, but understanding the difference is your first and most powerful step. Sciatica isn't simply a strained muscle in your back. It's a specific message, a distress signal, coming from your sciatic nerve. Think of this nerve as your body's most important information highway. It's a thick bundle of fibers that begins in your lower spine, travels through your hip, and branches all the way down each leg to your toes. Its job is to carry signals for sensation and movement. Now, picture that crucial cable having a clear, unobstructed path. That's health. But with age, changes happen. The cushions between our spinal bones can bulge slightly, or the muscles and ligaments nearby can become tight. These changes can gently crowd the space where that sciatic nerve passes. When something, a disc, a tight muscle bumps or presses on that nerve, it irritates it. The normal, smooth signal it carries gets disrupted and turns into something else. A sharp pain, a persistent ache, a strange tingling, or even numbness. This is why you feel the pain in your leg or foot, even though the source of the crowding is in your lower back. The nerve is reporting the problem all along its length. This simple truth changes everything, because it tells us the goal isn't to stretch a sore muscle, but to gently create space around that irritated nerve, to let it breathe freely again. Now, with that picture of a crowded nerve in mind, let's talk about why many well-intentioned efforts can backfire. This is crucial, because if you've ever tried a stretch and felt worse afterwards, it's not your fault. You simply weren't given the right map. The first common mistake is using forceful, compressive movements. Think of classic toe touches or deep knee-to-chest pulls. While these might feel good for a tight hamstring, for a pinched sciatic nerve, they can be like pressing down harder on that already crowded cable. They often narrow the spinal spaces further, increasing that irritating pressure just when you're trying to find release. The second mistake sits at the opposite extreme, deciding the safest path is not to move at all. It's a completely understandable reaction when movement hurts. But prolonged, complete rest allows the muscles that support your spine to grow weaker. It also lets the tissues around the nerve become stiff and adhesive, like glue setting, which can actually trap the nerve more. So we have two unhelpful pulls, aggressive compression and stiffening rest. The secret, then, isn't found in either force or fear. Lasting relief lives in the gentle middle ground. It's found in deliberate, careful movements that do the opposite of pressing movements that create space and encourage smooth gliding around that nerve. Knowing what to avoid is half the battle won. It clears the way for the single, effective principle you're about to learn, which is designed not to press, but to peacefully make room. Let's talk about medication, because it's a reality for so many dealing with persistent pain. In your worst moments, a pill can feel like a lifeline, and it has an important role in providing temporary respite. There is no judgment here, but it's vital to understand what that relief actually represents. Think of your sciatic pain as a very loud, insistent fire alarm. It's blaring because there's smoke, the irritation and compression of your nerve. Taking a painkiller, whether over the counter or prescription, works by essentially turning down the volume on that alarm. It interrupts the pain signals traveling to your brain, the blaring stops, and you get quiet. This can be a tremendous relief, allowing you to sleep or function. But here is the critical point everyone needs to see. While the alarm is quiet, the smoke is still there. The physical crowding against your nerve hasn't changed. This is why the relief is often temporary. When the medication wears off, the compression remains, and the alarm blares again. This can create a frustrating cycle of relief and relapse, where you never truly address the source. For us as seniors, this conversation goes a step further. Medications like common NSAIDs, used frequently over time, carry significant risks. They can affect kidney function, which is especially important to protect as we age. They can influence blood pressure, and for some, cause dizziness that increases the risk of a fall. They are powerful tools, but they are not meant for daily, long-term management of a mechanical issue. Our goal must be smarter and more sustainable. It's not just to mute the alarm over and over. It's to safely clear the smoke, to address the crowding that's causing the problem in the first place. If we can gently ease that physical compression, the body's need to sound the frantic pain alarm diminishes naturally. This shifts us from a cycle of reactive masking to a path of proactive resolution. And this leads us directly to the core principle, the golden rule, that makes this possible. It's a natural, gentle method that works with your body's design to create the space your nerve is begging for. This brings us to the most important idea you'll learn today, the single principle that changes everything. It's the golden rule for senior sciatica relief, and it contradicts a lot of common advice. The key is not to aggressively stretch your sciatic nerve. The key is to help it move smoothly again. This might seem like a subtle difference, but it's the difference between causing more irritation and inviting true calm. To understand why, let's picture your sciatic nerve not just as a static cable, but as something living and dynamic. Healthy nerves are not fixed rigidly in place. They are meant to glide and slide smoothly through the tunnels of muscle and tissue they pass through, like a silk ribbon through a sleeve. This movement is natural and happens with every step, every bend, every shift you make. But when there's irritation or inflammation, that crowding we talked about, the nerve can get caught. The surrounding tissues can become sticky, like Velcro, holding the nerve in one place. Now, every time you move your leg, instead of gliding smoothly, the nerve tugs and pulls against these adhesions. That tugging is a major source of that shooting, electric pain. Most traditional stretching makes this worse. If you forcefully stretch a leg while the nerve is stuck, you're essentially pulling on a tangled kite string caught in a bush. Pull hard, and you stress the string. You might even snap it. But what if you gently wiggle the string, coaxing it free bit by bit? That's the principle of nerve gliding, sometimes called nerve flossing. It's a gentle, rhythmic movement that doesn't try to lengthen the nerve forcefully. Instead, it encourages the nerve to slide back and forth within its pathway, gradually breaking those microscopic adhesions and reducing the irritation at the source. This is the science behind the one simple move you're about to learn. That move isn't a random stretch plucked from the internet. It is the safest, most direct application of this golden rule. It is a deliberate, gentle motion designed specifically to create this gliding effect for your sciatic nerve, starting from a completely supported, seated position. By understanding this, why, the how, will make perfect sense. You'll see it not as an exercise, but as a direct conversation with your nervous system, offering it a clear path out of distress. Before we learn the move itself, we are going to ensure you are perfectly safe and supported. Your safety is the absolute priority here. You will not need to get on the floor, and you will not need any special equipment. Your most important tool is a simple, sturdy chair. Find one that is firm, without a soft, sinking cushion, and that allows your feet to rest flat on the floor comfortably. A dining room chair is often perfect. This chair is not just furniture now, it's your foundation, your partner in this process. Here is your setup. Scoot forward so you are sitting on the front half of the seat, not nestled against the backrest. Place your feet flat on the floor, directly under your knees, about hip-width apart for stability. Rest your hands gently on your thighs. Sit tall, but not rigidly stiff. This position is your secure base. It removes all concern about balance or falling, allowing your mind and body to focus completely on one thing, the gentle, intentional movement of your pelvis and lower spine. When this foundation is solid, the movement that follows is both safe and profoundly effective. You are now perfectly prepared. Now, from that secure seated position, here is the move. This is the Seated Sciatic Nerve Glide. We are going to move with slow, mindful intention. First, take a comfortable breath in and out. Let your awareness drop to your pelvis, that bowl-shaped bone you're sitting on. The movement is a gentle, subtle rocking of this pelvis. To start, as you inhale slowly, gently tilt the front of your pelvis forward. Imagine you are trying to show the world a belt buckle. This This will create a very slight, natural arch in your lower back. It's not a big movement. Think of tipping a teacup forward just an inch. Now, as you exhale smoothly, do the opposite. Gently tuck your pelvis under you. Imagine you are trying to bring your tailbone a little closer to the chair behind you. This will softly round your lower back. You are not slouching your shoulders. The movement is isolated in the pelvis. Then, inhale again, tipping forward. Exhale, tucking under. You are creating a slow, gentle rocking rhythm. The range of motion is small, perhaps only an inch or two in each direction. It should feel completely controlled and pain-free. What you are doing is brilliant in its simplicity. As you rock forward, you are gently opening the spaces in your lower spine, creating a bit more room. As you rock back, you are allowing the nerve to return. This rhythmic motion is the flossing action. You are not pulling or stretching. You are encouraging a smooth, gliding movement. As you do this, pay close attention. You may begin to feel a mild sensation, not pain, but a dull tension, a warmth, or a faint tingling that seems to travel from your low back, through your hip, and down your leg. This is the sensation of the nerve beginning to glide freely. It's a good sign. If at any point you feel a sharp, pinching, or electrical pain, immediately reduce how far you are rocking. Stay only in the range that feels like a gentle invitation, not a demand. This gentle rhythm, synchronized with your breath, is the entire key. Every person's body is different, so now let's fine-tune this movement to find your perfect, personal, sweet spot. This is where you move from following instructions to having a gentle conversation with your own nervous system. If the basic rocking feels at all uncomfortable, don't push. Instead, make the motion even smaller. A mere whisper of movement, a thought of rocking, is powerful and completely valid. Sometimes, less is profoundly more. You can also experiment with your foot position. If one side is more problematic, try sliding that foot forward a few inches on the floor while keeping the other foot under your knee. This slight change can help target the glide more specifically to that side. The goal is not to create a strong stretch or strain. The goal is to discover a gentle, rhythmic motion where you sense a mild, dull feeling. It might be a sense of tension, a warmth, or a faint tingling that seems to originate in your low back or hip and travel partway down your leg. It should feel like a release, not a pinch. This is the sensation of the nerve gliding freely, and this is your therapeutic sweet spot. When you find it, try pausing gently for just a second at the very end of each forward tilt and each backward tuck, letting that sensation resonate. Remember, this is not about intensity or effort. It is about consistent, gentle repetition. You are sending a new, calming signal to your nervous system, retraining it to understand that movement can be safe and that space can be created. You are learning the unique language your body uses to say, "That's helping." Once you can find this sweet spot reliably, the next step is to build it gently into your day, which is how we turn this single move into a lasting solution. The power of this approach lies not in doing a lot, but in doing a little, consistently. Let's build a simple, sustainable ritual that takes only minutes, but can reshape your days. Here is a clear, gentle plan to start. Each morning, right when you wake up, stay in bed for one extra moment. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the mattress. In this completely supported position, perform 10 very gentle pelvic rocks. Simply tilt your pelvis to make a small space between your lower back and the mattress, then release it back down. This isn't an exercise. It's a gentle wake-up call for your nervous system, priming the nerve for movement in the kindest way possible. Then, after you've gotten up, had your coffee or tea, and are moving into your day, take just 2 to 3 minutes. Sit in your firm chair, get into your perfect setup, and perform your Seated Sciatic Nerve Glide. Focus on smooth, rhythmic motion, finding that sweet spot of gentle sensation. Don't watch the clock. Simply aim for about 30 to 40 slow, mindful rocks. This tiny investment of time is your proactive step. It tells your body, "We are creating space today," which can significantly reduce that morning stiffness and lower your overall sensitivity to pain throughout the day. Some days will be easier than others. On more difficult days, when you feel that familiar tension building, you have a powerful tool. Simply return to your chair for a single minute. 1 minute of gentle gliding can often interrupt the cycle of increasing pain, acting as a reset button. This practice is not another burdensome chore to add to your list. It is a reclaiming. It is the deliberate choice to replace a morning ritual of dread and caution with one of agency and gentle care. You are taking back small moments to build toward greater comfort and mobility, one mindful movement at a time. You now hold a quiet understanding that changes everything. True relief isn't found in a pill bottle or through forceful effort. It lives in the gentle, intelligent creation of space. You have the golden principle nerve gliding, and you have the precise, safe move to make it real. This knowledge is your personal power. Start gently. Listen closely to your body's body's signals, and trust this peaceful process. Your path back to easier movement, deeper rest, and the simple, quiet joys of a comfortable day begins with that first, conscious rock in your chair. You have the key.